What's up? Welcome to another episode of the Up Under Podcast. I'm your host, Kevin Tate. And I got a dope guest for you today. This is where we break down. Uh, high school players from the city and other dope guests that we come on the show today. I got a real good guest. I'm excited to be here. Big show. I'm excited about the guest I got today. Detroit PSL legend. Y'all know what it is, man. I got into the stage right now. What's up, Hoss?
What's up, y'all?
Man, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. I got my guy here, man, none other than, first of all, class of 1996, out of Detroit Persian High School, all-state city champion, right here with us today, man. The uncomparable Charles, a.k.a. Lesure, man. What's up, man? Welcome to the show, bruh.
What's going on, my brother? When I heard you was doing it, man, I said, let me go ahead and get ready for my guy, man. Hey, look, man, I'm excited about this right here. You're bringing me to the social platform. I appreciate you, man.
Good to see you, man. You look good, man. You look clean, man. Listen, man, it's good to have you on here, man. We're going to jump right into it. First of all, man, that all don't know, I want you to, for anybody that don't know, man, I want you to let them know, where exactly are you from in the city of Detroit? Where exactly are you from, man?
Oh, man, I was born on Gratiot and 6 Mile. When I turned 10, man, I stayed on Hannah State Fair between 8 Mile, 48203. What up, though?
East Side, man. East Side, man. If you don't know now, you know, man. Now, you playing over there, you said Nolan Middle School and all that. So you end up going, how did you end up at Persian High School, man? How did you end up at Persian, being you got Osborne there, Denby a little bit down the road? What was it about Persian? Said, you know what? I'm going over here, especially at that time when you went to high school. What was that? Why was that?
First of all, man, Persian, that was like a neighborhood school for everybody. You know what I'm saying? And when I decided to go to play for Persian, it was basketball. I saw the state championship game, man, in 1992 state championship game. I was
Who were some of the guys on that team? Who were some of the guys on that team for Persian at the time?
That's a plethora of guys. You got Willie Mitchell, #1 for first. Todd Bergen, Carlos Williams, Sean Hill, Thayer Richardson.
Damn.
You had who else did you have? You had Lil Terry is a guy. It's just a lot of great guys.
A lot of guys. And you saw that, and you saw them win the championship in '92. And what happened?
I saw them win a state championship in 1992 on TV. And I was just thinking, like, man, it's right up the street. And then I saw them get out of Coach's van. It was Andre White is another guy, man, who led me to my college. But he was another guy. Guys got dropped off at his house, and I saw him come out. And I said, man, I'm going to Persian. They look like stars, man. So it was right then and there where I knew I was going to play ball at Persian.
Now, you went over at Persian at a time when it was like a lot of ball players over there, but could it have been like another school you thought about possibly? Like, you know what? If I don't choose Persian, I'm choosing like where?
Yes, man. Apologize for the intercom, but yes, man. I almost went to Ferndale. My mother actually changed her address, and
come on, man. That's the same. That's how it go, man. We switching up addresses.
She switched up the address so I could just get out and go to Ferndale. That was funny. Oh, yeah. And I was about to go over there with guy you interviewed earlier, Rashad Phillips, man, a great friend of mine. But, yeah, I was supposed to go to Ferndale, but it's like the neighborhood drew me in, and going to the Persian games and going into the gym, I was like, I just knew it was the spot for me.
Now, did you ever play JV over there?
Yeah, I played one year JV over there. It was kind of like mandatory. It was a lot of ball players, man. It was like you was proud to like be on JV at Persian.
So talk to me about the transition of going. How many years did you play? 1 year?
I played 1 year and one game. The one game, my second year, once I played one game, coach decided to bring me up to varsity.
What was it, man? What you was killing? What was you doing? Or they needed a guard?
I was already slated to be on varsity, right? And then they needed a guard. The close game, it was a funny story, close game at Denby, at Finney. And it was Jermaine Jackson's team.
Hey, Jermaine Jackson, east side.
I was on JV, and I played that game. And it was a close game, and coach decided that they need another point guard on the team. So that's how I was brought up to varsity.
Yeah. Now talk to me about that transition because at that time, to me, I believe that the PSL was big, man. I believe the PSL was big in 1993, 1994. There was some big ball players in the PSL. So going from JV and you're undersized guard, right? But you showing up on varsity. Talk to me about that transition and what it was like entering the varsity practice and really banging with them guys and what it took to get on the floor.
Oh man, varsity practice, it was tough. The term blood, sweat, and tears was really prevalent at Persian, man. It was really tough going into that transition, the speed of the game, the power of the game, and also just coming from a program that just won a state title. I mean, when I was on junior varsity, they won the back-to-back state title with Carlos Williams, Todd Berger, and Willie Mitchell. And making that transition, it was like a proud transition, man. It was really rough. And then to know all of the other players that was in the league at the time, like I mentioned one, Jermaine Jackson from Denby, Antonio Granger. You still had Tractor Trailer in the PSL.
Now, Jermaine Jackson was at Finney, right?
Jermaine Jackson was at Finney at the time.
Finney. Yeah. Yeah, so coming in now, talk to me now. You played over there. Now I played at Detroit Northern with a city coach, Harry Hairston, and there was a few coaches in a handful of coaches in the PSL that were legends that were around for a long time. You and yourself played for a legend over at Persian and, for Johnny Ghostin. Talk to me about the legend of Johnny Ghostin and how he was important in your development over there at Persian, man.
First and foremost, rest in peace, Johnny Ghostin, man.
Rest in peace, JG.
He was the greatest coach. I know everybody has their own coach. You got Perry Watson over there at Southwestern, your guy Harry Harris at Northern, and rightfully so. Everybody has their rightfully so opinion to to up their coach. But I think my coach was the best. Johnny Ghostin, blue and gold, green eyes. He would always Hoss was his favorite word, and Pink Panther is the first thing that I come off of. But he was like a father figure, man. He loved us all. He gave us everything that he had. He actually gave his life to us, man. And he was a great coach, phenomenal motivator. It was the biggest time as to where I was the most in shape, man. I was in shape playing for Johnny Ghostin. He believed in me.
Absolutely. Now I tell you, man, playing for a tough coach is one thing. Y'all had a cool coach. Now our coach was tough, and we had to be in shape. We was one of the in shape schools. We had to run cross country. I tell people this all the time. Running cross country in the city of Detroit, man, was serious. In the PSL, we ball players, man. Shit, we don't know nothing about running in those 3-mile sprint, man. We don't know shit about that. So to go in, and we had the type of coach, Harry Harrison wanted you to win. We had to win, man. Like we had to really win, right? And I'm gonna tell you, coming to see y'all motherfuckers, we be running in the race. I'm gonna let y'all know about Persian and cross country. These is the jivest motherfuckers ever to run cross country. Jive as hell. I mean, we be running sprint. These niggas be ducked behind the bushes, man, for 2 laps. Each lap is a mile. These niggas be in the bushes for 2 laps, and they come sprinting out at the end. Talk to me about cross country and being in shape.
Anxiety before a basketball game sometimes.
Oh my God.
Going to cross country on the bus, I used to have anxiety, scared as hell, stomach boiling. Like, man, what are we about to do?
Yes.
Like, don't let it be a cold day. But just like you said, we were jive. Some of us were jive. But man, to walk up, the warm-up was nervous. I hated cross country.
I hated it.
We couldn't even play football.
I hated fifth hour because I knew 7th hour was coming to go drive over here on the east side, Ball Duck Park, and race for 3 miles. I just want to hoop.
Ball Duck Park. And to get to that line, getting ready to shoot that gun, that was one of the most nerve-wracking things I had. That gun, pow, and everybody just started running. I just knew it would be about 30 more minutes before I got back around. That But the greatest thing about that, though, man, is that you saw a lot of the basketball teams out there. And so you saw the unity and the fraternity that you would later on build in life. Because I didn't know you at the time, you didn't know me at the time, but to know we met up in college and got together in college, to know that we went through those things together, man, it feels like a basketball fraternity.
It's a basketball fraternity for real, man. And it was very important to be in shape. You know, our practices, which I'm sure y'all had tough practices and stuff like that. I want to ask you, what number did you wear? And did you keep the same number from JV to varsity, or you had to come up off of it when you got to varsity?
Oh man, you about to make me go into my heart about this number, man. I started off with number 10 on JV, and then I played with a phenomenal group of guys. Robin Anderson was the starter. Keith Tate, man, was the one.
Shout out Keith Tate.
What up, AC? And then you had Big O. And we played JV. We were undefeated, man. We lost one game to Belleville, and then it was time for varsity. Well, it was this guy, man, named Keith Tate. Keith Tate wore number 4 on JV. And unfortunately, when we started our sophomore campaign, he got into an accident playing football.
Shout out Keith Tate.
I saw him, and we had a blue and gold game, and Coach brought the jerseys out. And I was on Willie Mitchell's team, man. Willie Mitchell took me on his side. And then, I saw that number 4, and me and Coach looked at each other, and I said, I want to wear number 4 for Keith Tate. And I kept the number for the rest of my high school career, and the number stays near and dear to my heart. And you can even know, and I'll let the secret out now, when I put my emojis, I put 4 emojis up. I either put 4 laughing faces, 4 whatever the emotions is. It's always that 4. And people don't, that stems from Keith Tate, man.
Oh, that's dope, man. I shout out to Keith Tate, man. Yeah. Let me ask you this, man. Y'all been in some battles. Y'all was in some battles. The PSL was tough around that time. Talk to me about what you feel like was your best game. Not necessarily your most points scored, but like, you know what? This was the best game. I played my best game today.
Best game. You know what? I am really going to say the semifinals, and it's crazy because it's against your high school. It was against Northern in the semifinals, a guard by the name of Gerard Payne. He was a real quick, fast guard. And at the beginning of the year, Coach asked me if I could check him. This was like at a classic in Denby. And we played in the semifinals against you guys, and I ended up scoring 10 points. I always was known for having a great floor game. But I ended up playing great defense. It was at Cobo. Cobo is one of the best places to play for Detroit public school basketball guys.
For y'all that don't know, Cobo Hall is like an arena. Right? It was an arena. It was downtown, and this is where the city championship was. And I'm talking about the city came out. If you played down there, that was big time to play right downtown. No place I'd rather be. Talk to me. Continue about that.
Yeah, we had a good floor game. You guys had some good players and everything like that. But I remember this at the time, Winfrey Wharton had transferred to our school. And I remember the time, I can vividly remember as to where I had a great floor game, and then I pushed him down to go to the post to throw it into him. And I normally wouldn't shoot. And you all guys left me open, and I can remember hitting the 3, and it kind of like blew everything open. It gave us a comfort to know that we had the game in hand, gave me a comfort that wow, I'm really out here. So I would think that would be one of the most exciting games, one of the best games that I played in high school.
Wow. And that was, you said that was in the semifinals?
I was in the semifinals, 1995 to be exact. And then we went on to play Detroit Cooley, and we won the championship against Detroit Cooley, which was some great.
I'm definitely gonna get into that. I definitely want to get into that because we have a bragging rights type of city that lasts for a long time. So I definitely want to get into that. Now, I also want to know, playing in that Eastside League, talk to me about one of the players that you came across, or some players that you came across that were just like tough outs, like a tough guard or a tough matchup. Talk to me about that.
Eastside League, man. Of course.
Just on your varsity career, period, guys. Because you meet guys in the playoffs, you meet guys in crossovers, you meet guys in a lot of things. Talk to me about one of those guys that stand out. He's like, you know what, this is gonna be a matchup.
Oh man! So every time, man, we would go. Finney all had good guards. All right, Finney had good guards. Denby had good guards. But a guy.
Who was the guards at Finney? But who was the guards at Finney at that time?
You got Jermaine Jackson, and I can't remember the names of a couple of the guys.
Ed Jackson.
Jackson was a guard. I was a sophomore.
Jermaine Jackson and my man E. You remember EJ?
Yeah,
EJ
was older than me, so I was able to watch him from the sideline, but I knew what Denby was. Yeah.
Okay.
But a guy, man, that comes up to me, and we talk about this all the time, and it ain't necessarily inside of the playoffs or inside of the East Side, but as we go against these guards, man, it's this guy by the name of, people don't mention him. He don't, get a lot of recognition, but his name is DeMarcus Fitz. He played for McKenzie.
DeMarcus Fitz, shooter.
He was a shooter, ball handler, quick. And the craziest thing about it is one of the toughest matchups that I had with him was at the Saint. And, you know, sometimes these
Saint
guys,
Cecilia. Shout out to Saint Cecilia.
Saint Cecilia, what up, though? Sometimes it's not even inside of the PSL as far as the games goes during the season. Sometimes it's that summertime, man, when you see people. So that's one guy that comes up, man, DeMarcus Fitz that comes up from McKenzie. Of course, man, I'm going to have to say Mr. Ed Novell from Murray Wright, you know, from the West
Tough
Side.
guard, man. Now he from our league.
Tough guards. You got, of course, Chris Wilson. Shout out Chris Wilson. We always had those battles from Detroit.
Cooley.
But it's been a lot of guys, man, it's been tough matchups. But that guy that I would say secretly, without nobody knowing, Marcus Fitz, wherever you at, what's up, man?
Yeah, DeMarcus shoot it, man. Good guard too, man. Now, let me ask you this, though. Now, playing across the city, it's tough enough to play in the PSL, bro. It's tough enough to play in the PSL, man. Talk to me about a gym that was just tough to go in. I mean, you knew it was going to be a problem going, whether the team was necessarily better than y'all or not. You knew that this gym was going to be rocking, and it was just a tough gym to play in.
Shout out to my job, but you're going to have to take this. But this place always played this song. It was called There's Some Hoes in This House. There's some hoes in this house, and that's none other than Southeastern High School.
The Jungle is
always tough to play in that gym.
What was it like in there?
Shout out Joe Vicks. He's a guy that played for Southeastern High School.
Baseball player too.
Because of the environment, man, and it was deep East Side. And going in there was a tough environment. You know, you had to strap up, get in, and get out. Coach used to tell us all the time, too. Once this over with, let's get in here, let's get on out. But those type of environments were always difficult.
So what was it like in there? Because I can tell you some gyms. I mean, you know, to go into Central High and see everybody right there, you know, almost a rival neighborhood, right? To see everybody on the court. I know Persian was a tough gym. I never played y'all in Persian, but to go in there, that was also to go into Cass Tech. Let me tell you, Cass Tech was like going into Cameron Indoor Stadium, bro. You going in a day like that in there. So I can imagine being deep East Side and Southeast, and they was in y'all league?
They was in our league. We had to play them twice a year. They come to our house, we go to their house. When you talk about the atmosphere and the setting of a gym, man, just picture playing basketball with people's feet on the sideline. So
in the game,
the out of bounds is the out of bounds line.
Yes, man.
The face. It was a small gym before it got renovated, and it's just really rowdy and tough. It's just you and the floor and your teams. Now, the people that sit next to you, the fans, they're a part of it too. So our bench was a part of the fans, and it was tough. Everybody's right into your face. They didn't really have an upper level, so everything was right, level, eye to your face. It was tough to play in that gym. And the floor was slippery.
Hey, and cold locker rooms. So now we didn't play y'all a lot over at North, but we did play y'all one time, man. And talk to me about that game. Y'all came over to Detroit Northern at the time. I think you guys were highly ranked. Y'all was highly ranked at the time. We were having a good season at the time. We were doing well. We might have been 10-2, something like, who knows?
No. It was about 4 or 5 schools in the PSL that was 10-0.
Yeah, it might have been up. I think we might have been up there. So our record was real good at the time. And I just remember, you know, Harry Harrison talking about y'all coming to the gym. Yeah, these motherfuckers coming up in here, Hoss. These motherfuckers coming, these some bitches. Hey, we stand together. Arambe, they got the little motherfucking guard. You know how you talk. They got the little motherfucking guard and guards, man. They smart. This is Harry talking about y'all, you know. They got the guard. And y'all had Winfred Walton, which, first of all, I'm going to say was a pro. And he was a game cheat for the PSL. Shout out to Winfred Walton. But he came in there and had a good game. What do you remember about that game and going in that game and playing Northern for the first time from what I understood in that gym? I had never seen y'all over there.
Yeah, that was my first time playing in Northern, man. And what I remember is what I noticed is that a lot of teams was 10-0. I remember that. And you guys were one of them. And the thing is, I always knew that we had the factor of that you guys had never played us in the regular season. And so sometimes with the repetition of Persian, being 10-0 wasn't a surprise to us. But we knew that it probably was a surprise to everybody else who was 10-0. So going into the gym, man, I remember the team kind of feeling like lethargic and everything of that nature. But going into that gym, you guys came out You guys were rough. I knew it was going to be hard to bring the ball up because you all pressed the ball. But I knew we had one factor, and that was Winfrey Walton, man. He was just too big for a lot of guys, and all you got to do is dump it down. That's why I played a lot because, I just dumped the ball down to him, and it was, kind of like a bucket. But going in there, man, I remember tough. I remember you never quitting. This is when I knew you was not a quitter when we got to Wayne State, man. Because I remember you just coming in and just going for what you know. And I would read the guys who didn't care about the factor of it's Persian. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
and
that
I
was a big game.
Guys who felt that pressure of playing Persian. But I remember, man, it was close. And in the end, I just knew give it to Winfrey Walton and everything could take care of itself.
He was too much, man. He was too much. And I'm going to tell you what's crazy about playing y'all because y'all were almost like the Persian squad was almost like rock stars in the city. Y'all was winning, man. So our whole school, you had people from the east side that was at Northern as well. So it was a lot of people all around school like, y'all finna get y'all ass. But everybody was in there, and I'll never forget about that game. Like y'all just was always steady with the rock, and y'all gave it to him, man. Talk to me just a little bit about how special Winfrey Walton was, man, and being a guard on his team, man.
A little bit, man. To me, Winfrey Walton was a top 3 basketball player in the state of Michigan.
In 1996, we talking Tim Thomas, Kobe Bryant.
Winfrey Walton was ranked number 3 behind Kobe Bryant, behind Tim Thomas, and then it was him, and then Jermaine O'Neal was ranked. Richard Hamilton was in that group. That's a guy, man, who I wished as young people, I wished he would have made the decision to just go to the NBA because he was special, man. He was and I had played with Willie Mitchell. I had, seen Todd Bergen and all them play, but when he came, I was like, this is a different type of basketball player than Monster, man. He had
6'8", 6'9".
No, he was 6'9". And he had great size. He wasn't just a skinny 6'9". He had a good build, and he knew how to play in the post. He knew how to put the ball in the hole, man.
God damn it! And we didn't have a chance. No matter what happened, it came down, and he just kind of went. We probably even was leading at the half, but I mean, y'all still came down and just separated yourselves at the end. I remember that, and I just remember the buzz around the school of y'all coming in there, man. Y'all 1995, y'all win the city championship. Talk to me about that run, starting from the first game. I don't know if you remember who y'all played in the first series, the first game, second game. Talk to me about that run in 1995, because to win the city championship is rock star shit. You understand what I'm saying? Talk to me about that run and some of those matchups.
First, I want to bring up that Persian was in the city championship 2 years straight, probably 3 years straight before I got there, and couldn't win the city championship, but ended up winning the state championship. So at that time, the first game we played, it was against King. And, we played King. Sterling Anderson. Shout out Sterling Anderson.
Shout out Sterling Anderson. And, Ed Carter them.
It was, first round was, pretty, beat them easily a little bit.
Y'all blew them out?
Yeah, we blew them out. I'm just trying to be humble, man. We owed it.
Yeah.
But it was kind of easy victory. But and then we went on to you guys, Northern, where you had where people thought that they were twins, man. You had Tyson and what's the other guy?
Roderick Rush. Shout out Roderick Rush, man.
Yeah, those two guys. And so we remember just those guys. We thought that they were twins. And of course you had Dry Payne, who was phenomenal. Aurelio Rayner, who was phenomenal.
was a high flyer, like NBA style high flyer.
High flyer. And that was a game, Esther, where it was tight. But of course, we talked about that game earlier. The floor game was good, and I, was able to put the game in hand because of what we had. And then we end up playing Kool-Aid High, which was a tough. We end up winning 62-60. We were down, I think, like 14 in that game. And
what was y'all huddle like being down 14? What was that huddle like?
Here we go again, because Persian had just lost 2 city championships, but lo and behold, it's 2 guys that wasn't a part of Persian, which was Winfrey Walton and Jason Poe.
Okay, shout out Jay Poe.
Shout out Jay Poe. And what happened was we were down 14. And it's like Jason Poe stepped like right over the half court and hit a 3, and it kind of like lifted us. And I promise you, as a point guard, I said, I want Jason Poe and Winfrey Walton on one side, and I'm just going to go to that side the rest of the game. and they kind of like carried us through because we were stunned, thinking that we were going to lose another city's championship because that was the pedigree. And I remember Winfrey Walton having 2 free throws to take us up to, and he made them both. And then they came down and shot. And I just, man, I was so happy. I ran straight to the bench and sat down while everybody else was cheering. And then I had to jump in the middle, man. I remember that. That was my first real championship that I had been a part of as a basketball player, man. And it was exciting.
I remember being down there. I actually came down. I sat under the basket. And I didn't really know. I mean, I didn't really know Jason Poe, but I just remember they kept saying his name that day. I was under the basket. He was making some timely buckets for y'all in that game, and I remember looking like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? Like this right here is, you know what I mean? It was crazy. So to see that go down, man, was it was good to see, man. It's interesting knowing you was in that. Now, after the city championship, y'all move on to the state. I want to talk about the state championship game. You guys made it to the state championship game, right?
Yeah, we made it to the state championship game, man.
Breslin Center, Michigan State University. That was 1996.
Say that again.
Was that in 96 y'all went to the States?
1995.
95 y'all went down there. Y'all, right. Okay.
Same year. Go through. I can't remember much about that state tournament, but I remember getting to the Breslin, man. Getting to the Breslin that year. We played Kool-Aid High again in the semifinals after we beat them in the championship. And of course, I knew that this was going to be a tough game. Coach Kelso, shout out Coach Kelso. He taught us what being patient on defense is, because they would really move the ball. They had a play called wheel, and they wouldn't shoot the ball unless they had a good shot. I know you remember those. And so he really taught me what patience on defense was. But I ended up having my high score game during that time, and I was really excited. And I really, stepped into the flow of I am really a basketball player, because I wasn't much of a scorer. I was more of a floor general. And then, man, to the state title,
State championship game,
Flint Northern, Mr. Mateen Cleaves.
Shout out Mateen Cleaves, man. Woo. Listen, hey, I'm gonna tell you now. Mateen Cleaves, for y'all that don't know, came into the spotlight like that. Like it was like, who is this dude that was getting buckets? Now I had actually seen, maybe I had seen Mateen Cleaves that following summer in the summertime, but like it was just like this dude would talk to me about playing against him and what that challenge was like in the championship game in front of the big light.
Oh man, first I knew it was going to be a handful because we had played them the year before. My first year going to the Breslin as a sophomore, we lost to Murray right in the championship game, but we played them in the semifinals. And I also knew of him because Persian would go up to Flint and play in the summer leagues. It was either Flint or Saginaw, and I would see him all the time. And I'm like, man, this guy's fast, he's big, and he's strong. Of course, you keep that in the back of your mind as a player. But going to the Breslin, the lights, man, the lights are bright. The court is perfect. The basketballs are full of air. Everything is real professional. But to go up there, man, and play against them, we had it under control. We were up like 7 at halftime. And me, myself, coming off of a high-scoring game, I felt that I was doing a great job having a floor game. And we were doing a great job as a team, man. We were playing hard. And they came out with a press. And at that moment, we could not beat that press. And they came up and they jumped us, man. They ended up going up big time. The Smith brothers, Robert and Antonio, shout out to those
pros. Yeah.
They were extremely, I think pros, they both play
football, NFL.
Yeah. I know they had another brother. Yeah, so imagine playing those two big guys, strong, and then Mateen Cleaves, who at will, when he pressed the accelerating button, it was just something else, man. His speed and his, because he did play football as well, his speed and his will to win just took over, man. And, it was sad. Losing that game was sad. That was a real sad game. But being out there, man, exciting. Being out there was extremely exciting.
I think Mateen was averaging 32 that year. I think he averaged like 32. He was a dribble, spin, layup, smack offs, all smack.
He was a man amongst boys, He was really a man amongst boys. And it turns out, they went to Michigan State and won a national title. So
he was that deal.
He was that deal, man.
Going up against him and some other guys. Tell me a funny story being about a funny locker room, being, what it was like, because for the most part, y'all experience success in high school when it comes
Yeah.
to, and with it's so many, I mean, it's so many characters that don't get talked about on that team. I mean, guys I can remember, man. Even Jason Poe, man, a problem, man. Winfred Walton, a problem. Like, these guys played too much. LaQuint
Yeah.
Lewis. Talk to me about these guys,
Quinn
man.
Lewis, what up, Q? DeJuan Williams, what up? Reds Cup, what up, though?
And them guards, them was some tough guards over there
Oh,
too, for the record.
yeah,
But
no for the record, yeah.
what was it like playing in a room full of guys that like that? You know what I'm saying? That in a
Man.
gym full of guys like that.
It was like a factory, man. And you just gotta go. It's like you loved each other because you loved each other from Reach U program. Shout out Birds and Reach, man. So
Yeah.
you there with a lot of those guards who come up there, and then you come up there with guards from Cleveland, Farwell, and then you get in that gym, and everybody, once you get on that floor, it's like dog eat dog world. You out here on your own, and can you survive? I mean, we even had a saying, only the strong survive, weak fall by the wayside. And so
Weak
it was
fall.
more when you get in there, man, you in there with a ring full of pit bulls. And whoever comes out on top just comes out on top. Nothing personal afterwards. Still love you, still brothers. And like I said, a bonding time, and you said off the court, man, was in the classroom. We would have something called in the classroom 8th hour where coach would preach to us, talk to us, joke with us, laugh with us, and everything of that nature. So shout
Yeah,
out
y'all
to
had some characters.
yeah, man, we had some characters on that team. But shout out to the Doughboys.
Definitely, man. Definitely, man. I know, but look, back to the state tournament real quick, just ending that out. Knowing that, and that was so what happened your senior year? How did your senior come out going into how did the state tournament play out in the senior? And talk about some of those guys you came up against in 1996 in the state tournament.
1996, man. 1996, it was written in the books that it was our year before the year was started. We came out ranked number top 5 in the nation, just before the season started. Newspapers coming out and everything of that nature. We on TV. We get through the tournament, and we get through. First thing we had to go through was Ferndale. Rashad Phillips, man, he had 43 points on us, man. He couldn't stop him for nothing. You know that's your friend. Your coach is scouting, telling you how to stop him. But we know, like, man, can't nobody stop this guy. We just gonna have to do our best. And he almost took us out, and that took a toll on us.
Really?
Ferndale, he almost.
It was a close game.
It was a close game. I think we only won by like 6 or 7, if that. But like you say, in that game, Winfred Walton was the factor. He was just big, man. He was just too big. And
Too good.
yeah, and before that, I want to give our shout out to Dane Pfeiffer, who was a freshman at the time, who we beat in the first round. Central, I remember beating them in the first round. Young Jimmy Twyman, young Antonio Gates, young guys.
Right.
Man.
We were still beating them when they were young. We were beating them in our league, but them two guys was, like I say, getting 17, 18 as freshmen and sophomores.
Can't forget about Dante Darling. What's the other guy, Dwight Smith?
Dwight Smith, Super Bowl champ.
Yeah, he played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the time. So just imagine those guys going on to do what they did with their careers. And we all came from the same spot, man. Detroit basketball is special. That's why I'm happy to be doing this, man. I think, this is going to get a lot of traction going. And,
Absolutely, man. Because it's good to hear. It's good to hear these times. People sit up in the barbershop sometimes and talk about these things, but I think all of these things sort of connect. Everything has this way of connecting everything. I remember being in that league. Now, did you guys go up against Murray Wright? Did y'all have to face Murray Wright?
I went Murray Wright. Tractor Trailer was a senior when I was like
A junior.
Junior, but his junior year when they won the city championship.
Yes.
And championship against us in both games.
Hey, listen, he was a big problem. Hey, listen, rest in peace, Robert Tractor Trailer in our league, man. He was a problem. He was a pro.
Shout out to those guys at Murray Wright, man.
Man.
Nobel, Wayne McAllister, all those guys, man. It's like a fraternity, like I said, man. I'm getting chills just talking about it.
Yo, it's so many guys that come through that league, and the PSL is an interesting time. Now you come out, your senior year. Who did y'all lose to in y'all final game in the 1996?
Now we end up getting out of our districts and we end up playing Dave Chappelle, Mike
Mike
Chappelle,
Chappelle.
Mike Chappelle, Greg Graves, Reggie Butler. Shout out Reds. I still gonna get in touch with you, man, about hooking one of my guys up.
Yeah, get with him too, man. I got to get Reg on the show, man. Make sure you let him know, man.
Southfield Latham guys on the show. Yeah, you broke our hearts, man. Y'all took it. That loss, for Pershing, because as kids being at Pershing, it was like a false sense of security because we were deemed as superstars in high school, and when we were at this point, we knew we were going to win the city championship. We knew we were going to win the state championship. But at this point, we met Southfield Lathrop at their place. Greg Graves hit the game-winning shot. But what I remember about them was what they had good size.
Mike Chappelle was 6'7", 6'8", smooth.
He was at the 3. And so a lot of people, attributed to, which could be true, us playing at St. Rita a lot. But I attributed to, their size, man, and their structure, and they're just being ready to play against us.
You said Greg Graves hit a final shot. Talk to me about that scenario. Can you read?
We're down 6 points. I remember this vividly too. We're down 6 points, and we hit 2 free throws, so now we're down 4. We get a steal. Somebody lays it up. We're down 2, and we get another steal, and it comes straight to me. And I'm looking at the ball right under the basket, like, are we about to tie the game up? And I laid the ball up, and we tied the game up 6 straight points. And that last press, they took it out. They was able to get it to the middle, skip it across to Greg Graves on the left wing, on the left baseline, and he hit the 2 to end the game. And man, I remember just laying out on the floor, hurt, crying. And I don't think we left that gym the whole night. We probably not believing it.
Greg Graves, man, that's crazy though, man.
Greg in that jump shot, man. That jump shot is pure.
Yeah, Greg had game. I spoke about him briefly, but Mike Chappelle had game, man. Like Mike Chappelle was a smooth. He averaged 30 his senior year. He had game, like 6'7", 6'8", wingman, a little bit of handle, smooth jump shot. You come on.
Yeah. I remember you talked about the 1996 people. Everybody that graduated in 1996. That you got Mike Chappelle, Rashad Phillips. You got Mateen Cleaves. I know I saw your interview the other day. You mentioned Kerry Hartfield. It was a lot of 1996 just in the state of Michigan alone. And I don't think we knew what we were a part of in 1996. 1996 was kind of like one of the last of the dying breed of old school basketball in the PSL. And that's how I look at that year for.
Man, no doubt. So, it's coming out because, when you get out to the state championship and especially after losing, going back to high school is pretty much like shit. Now, you was a book guy, a scholar and all that. Real quick, and just to tap on it a little bit, after a good career, I never forget signing time. I end up signing early to go over to Wayne State University. I signed early. I had a couple schools. They were very persistent with me and all of that. So I ended up getting involved with them signing early. I never forget you being signed. I'm like, yo, because we used to call you Lesure. We didn't know. It's like, yo, my man signed over there too. Talk to me about that decision. And could there have been somewhere else you probably would have went as opposed to Wayne State?
Man, at the time, being from Detroit, man, is really rough if you're not guided right. So at the time, man, no one, in my family had went to college. It was difficult for people to get a scholarship from, even if you played at Detroit Person, it was difficult for you to get a scholarship. But I had offers elsewhere. But, I had a child in high school in the 10th grade. While we talking about all this, I had a son.
That's right. Time. All this with a whole kid.
All this with a child. You know what I'm
saying? That's why you steady with the rock. You've been changing diapers and shit. You've been warming up bottles.
I was able to develop a 4.0 grade point average. And, and then that signing time came along. All I remember was, I'm going to college and, my mother is going to be proud. I got somewhere to go. And I just didn't want to get left out, man. You know how tough it is for us to get that 16 score, because, our education system is not, wasn't preparing us for nothing higher. So getting the 16 score was big, for athletes in Detroit. And signing that letter of intent, man, was like a paradigm shift. You know, you graduate from high school, and then but before you signed that list, it was like another stepping stone as to where, okay, this is about to get real. And then when I got down there, you know, met you and everything, everybody is the same. Everybody calls me, you know, you this, you this, you this. I know you.
Right. Right,
And
dog.
people don't know that we bonded because we both came from Detroit. We both 96. And it was like, it was just me and you against the world.
Absolutely, man.
But
Absolutely.
was nothing was on our same plateau. So we had the same kind of like stories. And you know, that's
Absolutely.
how we clicked, man. That Persian stuff, that northern stuff went out the water. We were just able to tell stories. And that's when I first learned that, man, this basketball stuff is a fraternity, man.
And no, it's a fraternity. Absolutely. I think being at Wayne State, it was a bit of the same for me too, just in the sense of not having nobody really in the understanding the recruiting process in my family. So the first school that really, really showed me, you know, that type of interest, I went. But going there and meeting you and understanding, like, oh, this nigga regular. You know what I'm saying? This nigga eat shortbread cookies like with no sugar in them. Like this nigga.
Just to let y'all know, man, Kevin always laughed at me because I'm a simple guy and I'll just love shortbread cookies as a freshman in college. And he used to laugh at me because I wouldn't have Oreos and nothing going crazy.
No sugar, man. Just regular grain. If you took 2 pieces of sugar out these cookies, they'd be crackers. I'd be like, I'm talking about, and we end up being roommates. I look at his side of the closet. This nigga got all brown, blue, black. This nigga was ready to go to a boat, everything. And you know, my shit got all these funny colors on my side of the class. So I just moved in with this dude. I'm like, this dude regular as hell, man. So,
but it was good. My mother even said it. You know what I'm saying? And rest in peace to your mother. You know, my mother even said it is that I needed you as a roommate because you were more outgoing, you know, more spontaneous and everything of that nature. And that's the thing that I needed in my life. And you actually taught me a whole lot, man, about being, you know, more outgoing, you, and things of that nature. And yes, I did have all gray, brown, and black. East side, you know.
Nigga had black socks, like
I don't know if you remember this shirt that you had. It was a red striped shirt with a blue collar.
I wore it every day.
I'm just gonna let y'all know right now.
Oh, we shared the shirt. That nigga did have my shirt. Yo, man, this nigga don't come home till 11 o'clock. Man, I'm wearing this, bro.
That shirt was a cold shirt. I'm gonna let y'all know that right now. That shirt, it fit well. Yo, and it was good. It was a good shirt. Great color.
Yo, you know what's crazy? Even though we talk a lot about you know, high school and experience in high school, since I got you here, man, being a freshman, nothing more, just being a freshman. And then being a sophomore and moving in with you and some of the crazy times being down in Wayne, some of the battles that we was in early on as freshmen. Because when you say it was us against the world, at that time at Wayne State, there really wasn't even a lot of, there was a couple of city guys sprinkled in there at the time. Shout out my dog Corwin Jones. But we were Mike Foley was there. We was from like the inner city. So I think that was when the shift of start bringing in more PSL guys. We kind of like really popped the lid on that. And just coming in, find out you was a funny dude, having to run the mile, dog. It's just so much, man. Just fun times and moving in with you and understanding real talk that you was just a regular dude, down to earth. Hey, and stay doing. This nigga will go do homework. I'll be right there. Hey, this nigga succeeded on me, man. That motherfucker be in the library all day.
But I always understood, man, at that age that college isn't for everybody. And I tell that even now I'm in education, even I tell the kids, even that, listen, college is not for everybody. It's not the end all be all. And I understood that, you know, being with the guys that was on our team, I know how, man, you know how difficult it was to graduate college, man. You got to understand,
man.
I had fire behind me. I had a son. And so I had to set apples, man. So that's a lot of what that was. I would go do homework, man.
He was doing all kinds of stuff, man. Shout out to my dog Fo Deuce, man. Shout out Fo Deuce, Tony Goins, man.
Shout out Adam, man. Rest in peace to both of them.
Yeah. Oh, rest in peace, Adam, man.
Shout out that 2000 team, man. 1999 team.
Championship team, man. We did some fun things. Went on and won. Got rings. Stuff like that. We can never forget.
Shout out A-Dub, man. A-Dub. People don't know that's where A-Dub come from.
A-Dub.
City, he's doing this thing.
AW Canada. AW Canada. You know, Showed up. He runs a program for kids now, right?
Yes. I think it's called Prime Basketball, man. You know, he first came over to Persian. Thank you for coming and help to save our neighborhood, A-Dub. That's real 100 talk, man.
He sure did, man. He wasn't even from Detroit, right? He
Yeah,
came to Detroit,
yeah,
and
man.
he found a home.
Man, we have Wayne State stories we could tell too, man. But like I say, man,
Hey, shout out
Wayne
AW
State.
Canada. I remember one time we was playing in practice, man, and coach was like, "Yo," he was saying something, and he swung the ball. He was like, "Hold the ball." A-Dub was in full air and didn't shoot it. We like, nigga. I don't know why that might seem crazy, y'all. I don't know why that might seem crazy, but it's like, nigga, just shoot the rock. But funny dude, talented dude, and just a good person, man. Super serious at that time too, man. So it's dope. But let me tell you though, man. First of all, I want you to talk to me more about what you got going on now and what you working on now, man. Because look at you, man. You still look like you in high school, man. You looking good. Talk to me. I see you got the basketball in your hand. Talk to me about how things are going with your programs and stuff.
Yeah, it's an undisclosed area. You know, I don't want to put this out yet, but I am going to eventually, everybody, just to let y'all know, I am out here coaching y'all. I am out here working with kids. I am out here in Phoenix, Arizona, and everything is going well. I've caught my traction. I am a coach, and I coach. Takes me right back to my high school days, my coaching days, and I'm out here, you know, coaching basketball and also working in the schools with kids, and nothing has changed. That's what I like about God, man. He just circles you around. I didn't, you know, decide that I was going to do this. I didn't want to go back into education, you know, after the things that happened in Michigan. But, you know, God has just turned everything around. He put me in a spot, man, and I feel like I'm right at home. At coaching basketball, it's different. You know, the mentalities are different, things of that nature.
Absolutely.
I'm going to let y'all know one thing, man. Kev told me, you know, because, you know, one of the main reasons that I'm on this journey is because, like I say, as roommates, and this person, Kev, man, he was able to take a leap, man, and just move to California, man. That was big in my eyes. And I'm like, no. Let me see what that's about. Came out there, and I understood what he was doing, and he sent me right out here. He was getting me prepared for this. So shout out to you, man, for being, so fearless, man, which. And, you know, just to let y'all know, he coaches me through all my times here. You know, don't go through, you know, you're in my second year and things of that nature. But he told me that it was going to be easy because I didn't have to deal with the love or the connection that I have from home. It was going to be easy because this is a different group of people. And what has happened in Detroit has really made it easy for me to, you know, do what I do here. I am coaching and I am working. That's all I'm going to let y'all know. It'll be out soon. But
no doubt, man.
Kind of like, you all know what I do with kids, man, and it's kind of like happening the same way without any effort. God put me right where I'm supposed to be.
Absolutely, man. You know, it's about you know, choices and chances, and you know, it's good to see you doing things. Like I said, still looking good, healthy, moving forward, super successful dude. Charles Lesure, man. Listen, man, this was dope, man. I'm so glad you was able to come out, man, and talk some shit, man. Make sure y'all tap back in, man. Follow the YouTube channel. This is the Up and Under podcast with my dog, Charles Lesure, man.
K is, man. I'm going to tell y'all that right now. He motivates everybody. My God, man. Love you, brother.
All day.